Get on my vibe. Ready?
Mm,
Uh,
mm,
uh,
mm,
uh.
mm,
Let's
mm,
watch
mm,
a Disney
mm,
Channel movie.
mm.
Let's watch
The
a
Disney
Disney Channel
Channel
movie.
movie.
Uh,
Except we're
uh,
not gonna watch it.
yeah.
We're gonna talk about it.
Oh, right. That's right.
We are the DCOM duo. We
Y-
talk about Disney Channel original movies.
What?
And
What? Yeah.
today we are talking about insert movie here.
Insert another movie here.
This is our new intro. Hope you like it.
We're gonna do that for regular episodes. We do watch movies there.
Well, we don't watch them as part of the podcast. We just
Oh,
talk about them.
no, you're right.
Yeah, it's not a live watch podcast. The length might make you think it would be.
I wonder how many people click on our videos thinking this is the movie, and it's not.
I bet that's a third, if not higher, of our clicks on YouTube.
Whoops.
Genuinely. Yeah, we are not pirates.
Nope.
Officially. Yeah. If you want to try and get it, just go to like 123 movies. Oops.
Oh no, don't give away the secrets.
Uh Hi, welcome to our
We know
mini-sode.
when that's not always
Well, it's a mini-sode.
no.
These don't have
No.
rules.
Okay. Wait.
Hi.
Welcome. Stop. Welcome everybody to the DCOM Duo podcast.
I'm Benji.
I'm Kelsey.
We're the DCOM duo.
Podcast Minisode.
This is also a video. If you want, you can look on YouTube. It's going to be a bit easier to ascertain everything because we're ranking movies.
If you're a visual girly like me, go to YouTube.
Yeah, we've now watched 70 DCOMs,
Oh my god.
which is pretty crazy. We're above the halfway point.
Oh yeah. We're well above half.
We're not crazy above considering the new ones that get added like over
There's
time.
119.
There'll be more by the time that we're done because we'll at least have Zombies 4 and Descendants
That much
5.
more.
At
I think
least
there'll be
those.
20 more.
No, I don't. I don't. But there will be more. But we just like essentially passed the expected halfway part
Yeah.
this set of 10.
Heck yeah.
So
So we did it.
thanks for
Yeah.
tuning in, listening.
This episode, we're going to rank the last 10 movies that we watch into our big master list of 70 movies. And then we have a little game. Not really a game, but a little thinky demonstration.
I got asked a question by a sports friend. I'm still a straight white guy. I still like sports. I do talk about this channel
Yeah,
movies.
at the basketball game.
Yeah. I have my regular sporting talking points, and all the sports media shows, they often will talk about who's the Mount Rushmore of X. Like, what's the
Okay.
Mount Rushmore of basketball or something?
Okay, sports nerds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not ashamed of it. But we're like, wait, let's just do that for DCOMs. That kind of seems fun. So we're gonna talk about that. But before that, this is where I would talk about fan mail.
Do we do
We
that
do
for
not.
minisodes?
We do it for minisodes. In
Oh.
theory, we would sense anything more generic or anything, but we do not have deep say about this
We're
time.
also we're behind the scenes recording this right after we recorded Alley Cat Strike. Like we haven't released Alley Cat Strike yet when
Yeah.
we're recording.
If you left us a note about Alley Cat Strike, we will hopefully get to it in our next episode, which will be Descendants.
Oh, that's so exciting.
Airing next week. So if you have something to say about Descendants or Alley Cat Strike or any other DCOM, you can mention any DCOM at any point.
We've seen them all.
We've seen them all.
So.
And we like talking about them and shooting the shit. So yeah, email us at the DCOMduo@gmail.com. That's the DCOMduo@gmail.com.
Do you need to hear it again? It's the DCOMduo@gmail.com.
Yeah. Yeah, would love to hear from you.
Yeah. All right. So, let's get into it in order that we watched. So, first up,
The first thing we do is we rank the 10 that we just watched
individually
amongst themselves.
Yeah.
And then we fit them into our master list.
Yeah. So we have Full Court Miracle is automatically gonna go to the top.
Full Court Miracle is a personal, like, one of my children I fight for, you know?
Yeah, yeah, that's one of your little
That's one of my
darlings.
little darlings. I really have so few complaints with Full Court Miracle.
It's an enjoyable movie.
It's also one of the few DCOMs that like are high for me without basically any ironic enjoyment.
Full Court Miracle is like genuine enjoyment, which is kind of rare for a decom. Also shout out to that Jewish representation.
Yeah.
Not many decoms, so yeah, it's gonna be fairly high, I think. But now it's Otto at the top. So let's move on to our next movie, Cowbells.
I think Cowbells has its fun. I
Mm-hmm.
definitely don't dislike this movie. Yeah, I think it's worse than Full Court Miracle, and that's all we'd really need to say right now.
Yeah, so this is the Allie and AJ movie where they go and work at the factory. There's definitely some fun stuff about this movie.
It's also
Yeah.
just like a different movie than you would kind of expect it to be
Yeah.
while watching it.
Yeah, it's very surprising kind of how they handle it and like the serious family dynamics and like financial issues and yeah, I do quite enjoy Cowbells. I'm fine having it under Full Court Miracle though, especially I know how much you love Full Court
Yeah.
Miracle. I'm
We
kind of like similar opinion on them, so
Kelsey and I were talking before recording. We think this set of 10 is pretty competitive in terms of the sets of 10s that we've had. It's a pretty
yeah.
above average group,
Yeah. But yeah, for now Cowbells is below Full Court Miracle.
but not speaking of above average.
Xenon the sequel. Um, this movie was kind of disappointing, wasn't it?
Here's the thing, like I think we were talking about it in the moment. There's some stuff that I can enjoy about it. There's some stuff that I can be positive for seeing on the sequel, but overall, it's just not that entertaining.
I
It just kind
know
of drags.
it
The
does.
plot and the effects feel way more muted on a second attempt.
And with how many freaking, maybe not even plot holes, just like the way the story was written was horrible. And like a plot hole in a way of just like, why did you make that choice?
It's not a plot hole because it doesn't work. It's a plot hole because
It shouldn't
it just
work.
like this plot doesn't require much. It's just like it's not a well written movie. I think we can just say that.
Yeah, it's not. It seems very apparent that they were just rushing to get a sequel to Xenon because it was one of their
No, again,
early hits.
once I found out like that was gonna premiere alongside like a show they were really trying to push,
Mhm.
it was like, oh, this makes a lot of sense
Yeah.
actually. This is a rushed movie that the whole joy of the best parts of Xenon 1 is like the stuff they do with future technology and is interesting,
Yeah.
things like that. And like you get some more of that, but you just get a worse package.
Yeah. So that's definitely going below the other two right now. Next, we have True Confessions. This one's interesting. This is Shia LaBeouf.
We were very mixed on this in the
Yeah,
podcast, and think I think it's gonna go above Zequel, below Cowbells, if I
it's
had to guess.
definitely below Cowbells.
It's one of the few decomps that is basically a pure drama.
The main character is just frustrating. It's just like watch this teenage girl complain for an hour and a half and treat her mom really unfairly.
And the film feels exploitative, even if it isn't, and
Yeah,
it has good intentions at heart.
yeah. But it probably is a more well-rounded movie than Xenon the Sequel.
There's genuine power and moments in True Confessions that work.
Like that, the last like third or whatever
The
is
last like
like
20 minutes,
actually
yeah, it's
really
like
good. Yeah,
they figured out the package and they just couldn't build upon that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wish the rest was better though. And yeah, and just like developing their world a little bit more. Like we said, like it feels like we're just kind of dropped in, and I don't know, it could have paid off better. Yeah. Next, we have Read It and Weep. This one's silly.
Read and Weep is silly. Um, I'll put it this way. I'm just gonna start by saying this. I think it's worse than Full Court Miracle and better than True Confessions, and I'm pretty even on it with Cowbells. I think I would like Cowbells a little better.
I think I like Cowbells a little bit better. I'm gonna give Cowbells the edge because it's definitely a higher quality movie than Read
Yeah,
It and Weep is.
Read and Weep has flaws.
Yeah.
Like, not saying Cowbells doesn't, because Cowbells definitely also does. I
Yeah.
feel like Cowbells had more to say, and
And yeah.
Read and Weep has a couple of moments there I'm consistently like, that's kind of crazy. That's kind of funny, and it feels just like the most generic decom in the end of the
Yeah,
day.
but, like, there's huge plot, like, holes or just story, what am I trying to say? The writing of this movie also just, like, has problems where I feel like the story of Cowbells is sound and makes sense, and sure, they might not be accurate with, like, how to run a business or everything with there. The biggest thing was, like, the guy left and they didn't try to find him or press charges.
The script is much tighter in Cowbells.
Yeah,
Read It
then
and
Read
Weep
and Weep.
probably has higher highs overall, but I think the overall package of Cowbells is better.
Yeah. Next, we have Right on Track, which is a pretty boring movie overall.
It is one of the class of DCOMs that is just, you know what? It does nothing like objectively wrong. It does nothing like I understand, can follow this plot, watch it through, sit through it, and it was fine. But like, it also didn't really need to exist. It's fine that it did.
Yeah. And
It just
it's based on a true story. Crazy that they like caught this story before she got
became
even.
like the goat
Yeah,
of
like it.
the
That was
sport. That's
insane.
wild.
Brie Larson's in this. That's crazy.
I'm way more interested in this movie outside of the movie.
Yeah, I will say. Probably better than True Confessions, right?
I would agree.
Yeah, even
Because
though it's boring, but
there's like stuff on Right on Track that works as well, and there's a lot less problems that I have with it.
mhm,
You know, it's just the problem is that it's boring, and it's because the characters are all acting like humans,
yeah,
all of them.
yeah, and it's just like, oh, they handled that really appropriately.
That means there's no
Nothing to
nothing
talk about.
nothing crazy.
Whereas in True Confessions, we're like, you should handle that better. All right, next we got zombies someday. This could be ordinary. Can we put this at the top?
It's clearly at least above Cowbells. You know, Full Court Miracle is my chill
I
child.
know, but I like zombies more than Four Foot Miracle.
Yeah, and I feel like I'm gonna be losing this war. I do also
Yeah.
like zombies. Oh,
Yeah.
this is what I'll say. First off, zombies has more flaws than Full Court Miracle does.
Okay.
I that's my take on the whole matters, but also at the same time, I understand the musical nature of it. I
Yes.
understand there's a lot of fun that zombies has, and
Yes.
once you like accept zombies for the product that it is, it
Mhm.
really shines.
Yeah. Like, don't take it as a huge critical
But
narrative on racism. Like, take it as baby's first racism movie.
also remember that zombies last 30 minutes is genuinely pretty weak.
I know.
Maybe not last 30, last like
I'm
15.
not saying it has to be number one on the master list, but I do want it above Full Court Miracle.
This is the thing. What I want to commend Full Court Miracle is it's a good movie the entire way through. That's
Mhm.
like interesting, does new unique things,
Mhm.
and tells a fun story.
Zombies falls off,
Zombies falls off.
unfortunately. Yeah.
And like I understand I'm gonna lose this battle. When I was looking through this list, I'm like, I don't think I can win that fight, and I understand.
Yeah. Alright, next we got How to Build a Better Boy. Another good movie.
Also, I feel like above Cowbells at least.
Yeah, I can totally agree with
How
that.
to Build a Better Boy. I was talking about how Read and Weep has some high highs. How to Build a Better Boy's highs are sky high.
And then it's, like,
It has like
consistent throughout the whole movie
it
too.
has S tier decom potential at points, and it's still good at its worst. And that's
Yes.
where it's like really good. But like, there's also the points where it's like sometimes it's a little stupid.
Sometimes it's a little stupid, but also I kinda like when it's a little stupid.
But if I'm being genuine, I could put it on the top of this list.
I do too. Isn't
Let's
that
just do it.
crazy? Is that crazy it's going
We
above
liked it on a
Zombies and
rewatch as well, you know? Like,
yeah.
we're seeing it again. It's really got the classic decom charm. It's the type of movie that if it released, I don't remember what year it released, but if it released in 2009, people would be talking about it as a classic.
I wanna say 2014. That's just a guess.
Like, it was just out of the era where our generation of kids
Yeah.
really was there, where that's our internal peak decom,
Yeah.
the what is it, the High School Musical, the Lemonade Mouth era.
Mhm.
If it was released within there, it would be considered among those.
Yeah. Right, next we got Scream Team. The Scream Team.
The Scream
What
Team.
is this, some kind of Scream Team?
The Scream Team
is lower.
is a movie that is confused on what it wants to be.
It wants to be Beetlejuice, but it also wants to be a TV show.
Yeah.
And it was a
Its
movie.
characters don't really make sense. And it's something where I think a good comparison for it is actually Right on Track, because Right on Track does basically nothing wrong, and Scream Team does a lot of things wrong without ever having a fatal flaw.
Mhm.
And because of that, I feel like Scream Team's actually the better movie because Scream Team has these characters that I feel more connected with, these visuals that are more interesting. There's a lot of stuff more going on. And if you're going to make a mediocre movie, I'd rather have a mediocre movie that varies more.
Yeah, what's crazy about Scream Team is that I feel like the plot definitely has problems and, like, character motivations and how this town handles everything. Like, we were poking a lot of holes at it, which in a way is fun, but the actual dialogue always worked, and they always had good banter, and maybe part of that was Kat Dennings. Is that her name?
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, I felt like the humor actually, landed, at least when it came to, like, the kids. Maybe not always the ghosts' humor landed, but, like, the kids' humor always landed, but the plot is where the problems
It
are.
was something where there was talent on that movie,
Yeah.
and it felt like a hodgepodge of a script saved from a TV pilot to
Mhm.
be able to try and transfer into a movie. And there's a world where the Scream Team is like a successful TV show, and it's an interesting concept. But I think it's above Right on Track. I could be
Yeah.
convinced to put it above Read and
No,
Weep,
I
but
think
I
Read
think
It and Weep is
it has
stupider in
too.
a fun way.
Yeah, like when we're thinking about her standing on Jason Dolly's chest,
Yeah,
like that stuff I remember more. I'm gonna forget the Scream Team the next time we run
totally.
through these.
Totally. It's, like, so forgettable, and I'm not gonna forget Read It and Weep.
All right, and then finally we have Alley
Alley
Cat
Cat
Strike.
Strike.
It's just the top,
It
right?
has to be the top, right?
Yeah.
We love this movie so much.
Even like I was worried on a rewatch it was gonna mute some of
Yeah,
my
and, like,
enjoyment.
Alley Cat Strike, like, probably technically, is a worse movie than, like, How to Build a Better Board, for example, in, like, quality on a technical standpoint, but we love it.
This is our personal list. We're not doing an objective list of
Yeah,
any sort right now.
this is how much we love these
And
movies.
Alley Cat Strike genuinely is like an electric movie. It's a really lightning in a bottle in a
Yeah,
lot of ways. We talked about it a bit on the podcast, how it's kind of like Brink, but it's like Brink on steroids for the stuff that we liked the most about Brink.
yes, and I appreciate bowling for the silliness more than I appreciate, like,
Yeah.
rollerblading.
This is one that it feels like it takes itself less serious. It
Yeah,
randomly gave us like a gay romance arc that is our huge enjoyment of this. Like
yeah.
the film's not actually writing that in,
No, but, like, it so is giving it.
and it's really easy to appreciate how quotable this movie is for the fact that and the dialogue is like it's one of the classic DCOM stuff. We have Can of Worms on our list pretty high up here.
Mhm.
It's pretty comparable to Can of Worms where
Yeah,
the actual genuine enjoyment of this, there is some, but also the fact that its flaws typically elevate what we like about it even more. The fact that the dialogue is so choppy, the
yeah.
fact that the plot and like world building so silly.
Like, it's these 2 towns obsessed with this sports contest for middle schoolers, like, it's incredible.
Personally, it's just like the ideal made for TV movie. If we're
Yeah,
just speaking about it that way.
like, just watching it back, I was so excited. I was so excited we're watching this again, like, bringing back all the memories of when we were in college watching this together for the first time. Like, it's so fun.
So yeah. To read off for the people not watching the video, our ranking of these 10 movies were Alley Cat Strike, How to Build a Better Boy, Zombies, Full Court Miracle, Cowbells, Read It and Weep, The Dream Team, Right on Track, Full Confessions, Xenon the Sequel.
And that's 10 movies, baby.
So let's put it into the list. We're not going to read all of these out
Nope,
because
there's 60 that
it's
are
going to
already in
be
the list.
70.
Yeah. So, Alley Cat Strike is obviously going to be in the top, and I have a pitch already for where I want it to go.
Okay, I'll say I'll hear you out.
I want it to go just right above Can of Worms. So that would be below High School Musical, Lemonade Mouth, Teen Beach Movie, and High School Musical 2.
Okay, this is what I was going to say. I was going to come in and say that's the minimum spot I was going to put it
Yeah.
because I would have fought hard. I love Can of Worms, but I do think Alley Cat Strike
It's better than Can of Worms.
right now, like, yeah.
It just
Which
is.
may have been a change in my opinion from an original watch through, but
Yeah. And
what Alley Cat Strike does well, it does so
I
well.
feel like I just cannot put it above High School Musical 2.
I could, for the fact that those are the two gay romance films.
This isn't which one has the most gay romance.
I feel like you just got to remember you have a musical bias.
But it's High School Musical 2.
It is High School Musical
Bet
2.
on it. Let's work this out. It's I don't dance.
And okay, I can live with that one. You
Okay,
know what?
thank you.
I can live with it.
Thank you.
I don't need to argue about it too much. Now here's a real question: is How to Build a Boy Better Boy or Can of Worms better? My gut says Can of Worms, but it's not. I feel like there is a world where it's better there. I think it's better than Cheetah Girls, which is next after that.
I could see that. But Cheetah Girls is also so funny.
Cheetah Girls is so funny. The last 30 minutes of Cheetah Girls is really good.
But even like the first half of the movie, the first hour is better than we remembered it being.
Yeah.
Better than we gave credit for initially.
Yeah. But there's also, I feel like, more dead air still with that in the Cheetah Girls. How to Build a Better Boy doesn't have much dead air.
I don't know. I like them both. So I don't know.
I think it should go above Cheetah Girls, but like, yeah,
Okay.
it's one where
I
it
can
could
give you
flip
that.
and it's not the end of the world to me.
I can give you that.
Now, where do we put Zombies?
Oh man, is Zombies better or worse than Cheetah Girls?
Cheetah Girls 1 has better music than Zombies 1, despite only having 4 songs to like
Well, I
5
feel like
songs.
4 songs to 4 songs because fuck Stand, right?
And well, we have to count it against Zombies.
Come on. For me, the movie basically ends right at Stand.
I mean, if it did, it would be higher on this list.
Yeah,
We have to
yeah.
count it, the product as what it is.
I mean, you're right. Cheetah Girls just actually has better movie.
I'm gonna be real. I'm looking down this list, and the one that's like standing out to me is the fact that Let It Shine is down there currently sitting at number 11, and I'm thinking to myself, I think I like Let It Shine better than
I do
Zombies.
see. Okay, so right below Let It Shine is Stepsister, and I do think there's a gap there between Let It Shine and Stepsister from Planet Weird.
I don't think it's a giant gap, but I
But I think
do
there
think
is a
there
gap.
is a
Like
gap.
there is a fallout there, and Zombies could fit in that gap.
Like that's where I think it is because you get a lot of the fun with Zombies, but Let It Shine, I feel like it
It's
has
just
more
a
to
better
say to
movie.
begin with.
Yeah,
It's a better movie,
and it's a
and the
musical.
music's still good, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. No,
Like,
I agree. Actually,
if there was no Zombies 2 or 3, like,
Zombies 2 and 3, I think are better than Zombies. So like
I
there's
don't
gonna
know
be
about
more for
Zombies 3, I think
Okay, maybe
Zombies
not
2
3,
for
but
sure.
yeah, yeah. When we're gonna talk
We'll
about
talk
that
about them
later.
when we get there.
Yeah. Okay.
Full
Next is
Court
Full Court
Miracle.
Miracle. So we gotta move these down a little bit because they gotta go below Zombies.
Okay, so we
Full Court
have
Miracle.
Stepsister from Planet Weird.
That's better than Full Court Miracle.
I think Full Court Miracle is better than Brink.
I can
It's
live with
at
that.
least better than Prom Pact.
Oh yeah, I think it's better than Brink.
I think it's better than Brink, though. I like Brink.
Yeah,
I
I
like
do.
my sports movies.
I think this is a good spot because Stepsister from Planet Weird is batshit crazy in the best way.
Stepsister from Planet Weird is like going to be a guardian for this list because
Yeah,
it is basically min-max statting of it just fully put all its chips into being batshit crazy
yeah,
and like it's not invested anywhere else. And I fully respect that.
yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's also just a movie that the only stuff I remember about it is just how fucking weird it is.
Okay. So next, I think Cowbell's gonna go below Brink probably, right?
Cowbells will be below Brink.
So the question is, the next ones we have going are Prom Pact, Spin, Big City Greens, Den Brothers, Slumber Party, a lot of recent ones.
I will say this, Den Brother and Cowbells feel similar to me.
Okay.
Just if we're going on that side of this,
See,
I
like Invisible Sister's right below Slumber Party too, and I really like Invisible Sister
yeah, honestly, I think I could see it being below all of these
and Genius.
because while I like Cowbells, like it's also partially just there.
Yeah, like okay, and then there's Genius and Camp Rock and
Honestly,
Radio
I do think
Rebel.
it's better than Genius.
Oh, okay,
Maybe that
wow.
maybe that's a wild take, but
I mean, Genius is fun.
Genius is fun. Cowbells is also some fun.
No, I think I like Genius more.
Okay, but I do think it's better than Camp Rock.
Okay.
And here's the
Camp Rock's so hard.
Camp Rock's so hard to rank because on there's a real part of me that just kind of hates Camp Rock.
I know, but it's so funny how cringe it is.
It
Like,
is compared to like what is compared to the most often, High School Musical. High School Musical just so clearly trumps
oh my
Camp
god,
Rock.
it does. But there's so many Camp Rock stands out there.
I know.
It's crazy.
They scare me.
But just out of pure respect of movies, we have to put Cowbells above Camp Rock.
Yeah.
We don't have to put Read It and Weep above
No,
Camp Rock.
Read and Weep's gonna
No.
drop down here a little bit, I think.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, I think Read and Weep is worse than Camp Rock
And Radio
and
Rebel,
Radio
yeah.
Rebel
And
and
Horse
Horse Sense
Sense.
and Wizards
Okay.
and
And
Going
Going to the
to the
Mat
Mat.
is and Xenon probably, right?
It's pretty similar to Xenon, I feel,
I feel like it's
but I
right
do think Xenon's better.
maybe right below it. Motocross is right below Xenon.
And then after that's Life is Rough and Avalon High.
I feel like it's right there with Life is Rough for me.
Well, okay, thinking about it, I'm looking at that Life is Rough, Avalon High, Girl versus Monster category, and I'm thinking to
Yeah.
myself, I'd rather rewatch any of those than Read and Weep.
That's so true. But then there's Wendy Wu. Would you
And
rather watch Radio Weep or Wendy Wu?
I think Read and Weep.
That's crazy.
Is it? I know it probably is, but like,
Wendy Wu Homecoming Warrior?
here's the thing about Wendy Wu Homecoming Warrior. I've never really gotten the hype. And every time it's like, it's an acceptable, good, fine movie.
It's so fun. It's so iconic.
Iconic is not the same as what we're ranking here. Wait
Yeah.
for our.
Remember she wanted to date her cousin who wasn't her cousin.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And remember the chick
Okay, it's at least better than Adventures in Babysitting.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
we can at least consider
It's
that.
certainly better than Adventures in Babysitting.
I do think it's worse than Girl versus Monster because Girl versus Monster's
Yeah.
highs are
You know
so
what?
high.
I agree. So the question is it above or below Wendy Wu Homecoming Warrior?
I'm fine with it below. The more I think about it, the
Nice.
more they're very similar mentally to me.
Yeah. So, alright.
Like they both have some stuff to it and are also sometimes boring.
Yeah, now let's get way the fuck down here for Scream Team because I'm looking at these just to pick a few like
Gotta kick it
Double
up's got
Teamed
stuff
is
in here
better.
that's interesting. Now you see it, Naughty Nine.
Hounded
So
is better than Scream Team. Ring of Endless Light's better than Scream Team.
Impossible 2019 is better than Scream Team. Miracle
Miracle
on Lane
Lane
2
2.
is. 13th Year is. Tangle Before Ever After is wild because that's the one that feels the least like a movie.
I know, but like I'd rather watch Mom's Got a Date with the Vampire, I think,
I
than
do.
Scream Team.
I do think I like. I feel like this up and away poof point territory
Yeah.
makes some sense.
Yeah. It makes
And
me
I
too.
think I would put it in between the two.
Oh, interesting. You
Be-
think Up and Away is better than Scream Team? I don't.
I feel like Up and Away has more interesting things going on
But
than Scream Team
God, it
does.
was boring. But Scream Team also was a little boring.
Scream Team they're watchable and they have intrigue in them.
Mm,
It's the same for Poof Point as well.
yeah. All right, so you want to put them right in between.
That's
Right
my
at
take.
50. That feels right for Scream Team 50. It
Yeah.
is in the middle. Okay, next we got Right on Track.
Ooh, we said like, oh, these aren't that bad. We're already in the bottom 20.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah.
Out of 70, not out of all of the DCOMs, you know.
I mean, honestly, I think this goes like with the poof point category a bit, where it's mostly boring, but there's less intrigue, interesting going on, but it also is just not as bad.
Is it crazy that I kind of like Geek Charming more?
Geek Charming has more soul in it,
Yeah.
but I also always feel icky about Geek
I
Charming.
know.
Not even just the acting thing, like it's just like not that good. There's a good movie
You're
in there,
right.
and they didn't show it to us.
Okay, maybe right above Geek Charming, then right below Cadet Kelly.
I can be like that because Cadet
Yeah,
Kelly also fits in that where it's like it's got some fun stuff in it. Right on Track is just a boring movie done competently.
yeah. Okay. So we got Roundtrack, Geek Charming, Halloween Town 2. Next, we're ranking True Confessions.
I feel like True
Mhm.
Confessions goes right below Geek Charming.
Okay, right above Halloween Town 2.
I feel like that makes sense to me because like Geek
I like Halloween Town 2, I think, more.
here's my take on it. Geek Charming and True Confessions are similar to me, where it's like there's good elements of the film that they just focus on the actual plot and everything isn't as good. But
But
True Confessions is more boring. I can believe
but remember in Halloween Town 2, how his face was in the brick?
that's true. That's way more memorable than anything True Confessions. Okay, you
I
convinced me there. It's Don't Look Under the Bed better.
don't know. That's where you got me. I have no idea.
I think Don't Look Under the Bed is better.
Okay, next is Under Wraps. It's better. True Confession is better than Under Wraps, right?
It's better than Unwrapped. Unwraps is just like
Watch this mummy
boring,
run around.
you know?
Yeah,
And then Xenon the sequel.
that's our last one.
I think it's worse than Under Wraps. I
Hmm.
think it's worse than Halloween Town. I think it's worse than
Worse than Starstruck.
Starstruck.
Worse than Frenemies. I'd rather watch Frenemies, honestly.
Halloween Town High is actually pretty comparable to it, I feel. Because it's
Yeah,
like, honestly, I think Xenon sequel's better than Halloween Town High.
yeah. Halloween Town High sucked,
Halloween Town High just like blows.
but so does Xenon the sequel.
But like, I would rather have a bad Xenon movie than a bad Halloween Town movie that doesn't even go to Halloween Town.
Honestly, I just don't care enough about either movie to really care which one's
I
above
think
you.
they're both better than Tiger Cruise.
Yeah, yeah, I can agree with that. Okay, wow. So that's our 70 movies. I will scroll through really quick to show you guys again the full ranking. So if you're on YouTube, you can see the list. We can't read them out all anymore. There's 70 movies. That's way too much. I'm still scrolling. Okay, there you go.
And now for
Now
the little fun thing we do.
the fun thing we do. Do DCOM Mount Rushmores. We put together some categories. We haven't talked about what we are going to go in the categories yet. That's what this is about.
Yeah, so we're just gonna argue about these a bit and we'll see what we come up with.
Yeah.
If you don't know the concept of a Mount Rushmore, uh Mount Rushmore is a sculpture that features like arguably the four most critical presidents of the United States.
Mm-hmm.
George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Abraham Lincoln, and Teddy Roosevelt.
Yes.
And ever since that can use kind of colloquially as a term for like, oh, what's the blank Mount Rushmore?
Yeah.
What's the top four that like not necessarily always are the best,
But
but best represents?
yes. Yes. Okay. So first we have actresses. I think you and I both agree Brenda
Brenda's song is
Song.
an instant ad. We don't need to worry about that at all.
I would also like to argue Raven Simone should be on this
I think so.
list.
It's the fact that she's in like
So
five of
many.
them as well
Yeah.
is pretty there. She covers a lot of different stuff within that.
Okay, so we have two more slots.
Okay. So stuff that immediately came to my head, there's Ashley
I
Tisdale,
also
which is
thought
like
her.
the most iconic decom role, and you get like Candace in
Yeah,
Phineas
the
and
fact
Ferb
that she's Sharpay and Candace is
feels
insane.
there. And then I was thinking to myself, like, well, maybe there's something like the Dove
Yeah,
Camerons of the
that's a
world.
newer era. We have
Although
like China Emma
arguably it would like
Clayton.
I feel like China Animal Claim would maybe be a better I don't know. There's the Sophia Carson of it all with
I would rather
Descendants.
have Dove Cameron.
Has Dove
Sophia
Cameron's
Carson.
only done Descendants?
No, Cloud9.
Oh, she did Cloud. Duh. Okay, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Okay. But then there's also I'm thinking to myself, do we need anyone older than this? But at the same time, I don't think there were any girl stars of the old age of
No, and if
DCOMs.
you're out there screaming Miley Cyrus, she's not a decom. We could do Selena Gomez or Demi Lovato.
They're in one or they're in two. Well, Demi in three.
So, yeah, because of Camp Rock too, and
Yeah.
they're both in Princess Production Program.
But like
Or rather, I think Dove Cameron is like more of a staple, especially for the newer
yeah,
era.
I think Dove Cameron and Ashley Tisdale rounds up the list pretty nicely, actually. You know?
Yeah, I think so too.
We have the first star, the queen of DCOMs, the modern trilogy leader.
And like the staple of the thousands into the
The
team.
most
Yeah.
iconic role.
Yeah. Two roles.
Yeah.
Pandas too. That's a
Very iconic role too.
yeah. Like
So
Ashley Tisdale is such a staple of
I
Disney
I, I
Channel.
feel pretty good about that
Yeah,
actually.
I feel good about that stuff.
Okay. For best actor,
Ryan Merriman.
I think there's three that are locks for me.
Ryan Merriman
Ryan
has to
Merriman,
be there.
Andrew Lawrence, and Jason Dolly.
Yes,
And
I
that fourth
totally
one is the
agree.
one that I'm
Oh,
like questioning up there.
shoot. Ryan Merriman. Is that right?
I think so.
Andrew Lawrence. Jason Dolly. Yeah, so what's the last spot? That's the
That's what's
question.
hard there.
We have
My
like
instinct
Mitchell
goes my
Musso.
instinct goes to, oh, we should probably have like a High School Musical just for how big that
Oh,
all is.
Corbin Blue.
Corbin Blue's there. I also think Lucas Gabriel, who's also in the Halloween Town
That's
connection. And
true.
that's arguably the two biggest, but he's not
Yeah.
the biggest in either of them.
No, I feel like Corbin Blue is more iconic to Disney Channel
Yeah.
movies because he has Jump In, and that's huge too.
Yeah. I'm trying to think other stuff. You could genuinely go Milo Manheim.
You could if you want the
You got the
recent
zombies connection there and compact,
Compact.
you know.
You
That
could.
that's not
It's not
it's not
impossible.
impossible for that one. I feel like these three starting there as locking in are there, and this swing spot is
My heart is telling me Corbin Blue.
the only thing is like doesn't Jason Dolly kind of represent that era already?
I don't know. It's like the High School Musicalness of it and the Jump In.
We already have the actress already covers High School
This is
Musical,
a totally different Mount Rushmore.
and it's kind of wild to not have Vanessa Hudgens or Zac Efron.
They are only in High School Musical.
Yeah,
Like, I'm
we're talking about
sorry.
DCOMs in general,
Yeah, that's
but
where I think like Corbin Blue branches out a little bit more, and so does Lucas Grabeel, but like not in the
Lucas
same
is
way.
never a lead.
No.
That's really the problem. If this
Yeah.
was like supporting actors, he's number one on the list.
Yeah.
Which that maybe would have been a good category.
Too bad.
Okay, you can do
Corbin
it.
Blue.
I do think
Milo
Milo could have been a realistic pick though.
yeah.
We have no zombies rep, but honestly, it's not that bad to have a
No.
zombies rep.
No, I think it's all right. We got a Descendants rep on the actresses, so
Yeah.
we could have maybe said Cameron Boyce, but probably not, right?
No, no.
No. Okay, now we have just movies, most influential movies.
Yeah. We're gonna try and be actually objective for this one.
It has to be High School
High School
Musical.
Musical is on there. I truly think Halloween Town's on there.
That's crazy, but you're probably right.
Just how big Halloween like that changed decoms more than anything else.
I know. Okay, now it gets hard.
I feel like those were the two easy picks within here.
Like,
There's a very small part of me that could honestly say High School Musical 2, but I feel like we can't
no,
justify it.
I'm taking High School Musical as a full franchise personally. Um,
And it's like
so
Camp Rock is derivative of High School Musical.
yeah,
Descendants is derivative of High School Musical.
yeah. We could say Cheetah Girls, but like,
Honestly, I feel like High School Musical represents all of that
yeah,
so
it
well.
does. And
Do
there's like
we
Xenon is for the older crowd. Smart
I
House
was gonna
is
I was gonna say
crazy.
Brink as a
But
possibility.
like, I don't know. Like Halloween Town also just kind of represents that era a little bit.
Mhm.
Halloween Town also just represents Halloween movies, which are huge for
Which is huge,
DCOM.
such a thing, and all the decoms have been trying to remake Halloween Town basically.
Yeah.
Oh, tough, tough, tough.
Xenon might be in play. When we think of just like the most iconic DCOMs,
Xenon's on that list.
we can. What about Lemonade Mouth?
Cadet Kelly.
Oh shit! I don't
I
like Cadet Kelly though.
Here's the thing. No, but we're trying to be objective with this all. I feel like, but was Cadet Kelly actually influential? I don't think so. It influenced some people's lives,
That's
sure,
where
but
like I feel like Cheetah Girls was the start of the musical era.
yeah. And High School Musical really like changed the game. I can't justify Lemonade Mouth.
I
It
know.
was a
It wasn't
good,
influential.
great movie, but the influential's not that. I think Xenon and Cheetah Girls, I'm cool with that. I feel like this is a reasonable list.
This is a reasonable list. High School Musical, Halloween Town, Xenon Girl of the 21st Century, and the Cheetah Girls.
Yeah. Maybe if we studied it longer, we would come up with something different, but I totally get this.
Yeah, same. All right, next we have DCOM songs. Now this is gonna be interesting because it's like how much do you pull from one movie or one franchise,
Probably one per at
right?
max.
So I feel like Breaking Free for
Breaking
High School
Free,
Musical.
Determinate is, for my money, the best DCOM song.
Is it
Are
on
we
the Mount
doing,
Rushmore?
I think we're doing our combined, like, difference,
Okay.
is what I'm thinking here. So I think Determinate gets
Determinate.
on here. Do we go Cinderella from Cheetah Girls?
Oh, that's a great choice, actually. Yes. And we're doing that over Cheetah Sisters.
I think so.
I love Cinderella. Personally, I like Cinderella more.
I
But
also like Cinderella.
Cheetah Sisters is like a little bit more iconic because of like their jumpsuits
But
and
this
stuff.
one we didn't say most iconic
Right. We
decom
just said
songs.
decom
We
songs.
just said decom songs. Maybe we needed to be more clear.
I feel like we need either a Descendants, a Zombies, or a Teen Beach.
Yeah. I honestly not Teen Beach.
Honestly, the music in Teen Well, we could do Cruising for a Bruisin'.
We could do Someday.
We could do Someday. That's like
It
so pivotal for
encompasses so
zombies.
much.
But or should we have a Descendants song? Should we go like Rotten to the
We
Core?
could do Rotten to the Core. Yeah.
I feel like that would be the pick.
That would be the pick, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. So Rotten to the Core or
I like Rotten to the Core better.
yeah. To the core, rotten to. I like Descendants more than
This is the one
Zombies.
where like this is further away from the top of my list. I think the first three are all my favorites, but like Round to the Core feels better encompassing.
Yeah, it feels like it represents Descendants. And you like it more than Ways to Be Wicked, so.
Yeah.
Okay, now
Now for some sillier
sillier
categories.
ones. Best decom parents. Okay, I have so many in my head. Obviously, we always talked about Jump In
Let's jump
Dad.
in Dad.
Recently,
Right on Track parents were really
yes,
good.
Right on Track Parents and Alley Cat Strike Dad was good.
Cat Strike Dad was
Um,
good.
so there's some Motocross Mom stood up for her.
But like, she also
Uh,
let the dad kind of rule everything for a bit. It had
yeah.
to be explained sexism by her son.
Yeah. Well, let's get some down. Like Jump In Dad, we love.
Yeah.
I feel like we got to put the Right on Track parents because they
Something
did
we just
just
talked
like
about, like they were subjectively really good the whole movie.
they did like everything right, but like in parentheses, mainly the dad. But the mom was good too, which is crazy because like if you're gonna remember anything from Right on Track, it's the parents. And it's only because we watched it in the last 10 that I remember that that happened. But they
Yeah.
were good.
Well, that's part of the reason it's a part of the list right now, you know?
Yeah.
Not let it shine, Dad, let me tell you.
What about like Cheetah Girls mom, like Raven's mom?
There's also the points where she doesn't let her daughter shine as much as she could. Like she's protecting, but
Yeah, that's fair. But then the dad kind of reels her back. Yeah.
yeah. Honestly, I'd prefer Cheetah Girl's dad.
There's also like Troy's dad, but like
No.
no.
Gabriella's mom makes the best brownies.
Oh my gosh, she makes such good brownies. Hmm. Camp Rock mom.
Camp Rock mom kind of
She's
goes hard.
alright. She makes tacos.
Going to Camp
I'm
Rock.
going to Camp Rock.
I try to think of like what I'm happy with in there. Honestly, Camp Rock mom is still kind of speaking to me. What does she do wrong other than her daughter lie about her? You know?
True.
Just we gotta learn to respect our mothers.
Oh, and you know who's definitely not on the list? Let It Shine, Dad. He
Yeah, I know I mentioned
sucks.
that. We could do let it shine mom. No.
Nah, well, she actually was kind of baller, but more of as a wife, I would say.
Yeah.
So okay, Camp Rock mom. She's also the Wizard's mom.
What about the dad in Read and Weep that just wants to make weird pizza?
He's pretty fun.
He's
That'd be
funny.
crazy for him to be on the Mount
He
Rushmore.
does not deserve it.
That's crazy. We have like
The
Rapunzel's
adoptive
parents.
parents in the 13th year.
They were weird. They found a baby and kept it.
But they
What about
loved
Mermaid
him.
Mom? Mermaid Mom from
Mermaid Mom
13th year.
abandoned a baby.
Not on purpose. Addison's parents suck. Yeah. Zed's dad's alright.
It doesn't feel like a list winner, you know?
No. Cowbell's dad.
well,
He leaves though.
he's a good boss, but not a great dad because he didn't teach him well to begin with.
Radio Rebel stepdad. There's horse sense.
The
Um,
king from Tangled.
right, isn't that funny? Um, like the mom from Horse Sense.
Oh, you
She
know
was
what?
cool. What?
The alien from Stepsister from Planet Weird.
No, he was not that good of a dad. Double teamed parent? No, he sucked. He forced his kids to play
The
basketball.
dead mom from Spin.
She was awesome.
She inspired the music.
Miracle Lane 2 parents? They weren't bad.
They were very real, and while they
Yeah,
had vulnerabilities, they worked hard to fight it. I could believe that as like the inspiring choice.
yeah,
I'm okay. I think that could be it.
maybe.
This is a silly thing we're doing.
Dad of Dad
Let me tell you,
sucked.
not the dad from Eddie's $1 Million Cook-Off,
Not the Quint's parents.
not Papa's Best Sauce.
What about, okay, hear me out. Hear me out.
I'm listening.
Sharpay's parents. Sharpay and Ryan's parents.
They coddle too much.
They're kind of iconic though.
Yeah,
They're kind of great, actually. I don't know. I thought this would be easier.
I also thought this one would be like, oh, there. The dad in the Jenny Project who brings home a chimpanzee as a human.
It's crazy.
I can't remember the swap parents well enough, but I feel like we're like, they're actually good.
It was like the development of the boys' dad and brothers of like opening up to each other about grieving the mom was so good. And I don't remember how his behavior was before that moment. It's been a long time since we
Hmm.
watched it.
Oh, whoa, whoa.
What?
The dad in Smart House.
Is he good?
What, like the whole thing is like we're building this emotional connection with him and his son, how they're trying to grieve the mom's death after.
Right, but like Ryan Merriman's character really takes over like running the household where the dad
Okay,
doesn't.
then we can say Pat, who takes over as the mom.
Like he goes out and gets them a smart house and he's making tuna noodle for the family. And the dad's not.
Call her a friendship mom who helps teach the world about racism.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know why. I'm feeling the Cheetah Girls mom. I think she's fine.
We could just do the grandma from Halloween Town.
She's not a good mom.
No, she is not. We could do the mom from Phineas and Ferb.
She's also not, I mean, she's fine. She's not really in the movie.
No, she's not.
I want to put the Cheetah Girls mom.
I don't like it, but I'm struggling to come. I feel like we've said better stuff, but like Miracle in Lane 2, I feel like is a more interesting parental dichotomy. But like,
Yeah.
eh, maybe this was just a punt.
What are we putting? Because we have the Camp Rock mom. Like, what is she doing here?
The dad in Hatching Pete who says, "My son's a chicken. Why is he not in the chicken
My
suit?"
son's a chicken. Why is he in a chicken suit?
The dad in Tiger Cruise who goes and lays down his life
Wow.
for the
Wow.
country,
That's great. It's really great. You know, you kind of
trying to
made
make
me
me
look
look
pretty
pretty.
dashing.
That's the funniest thing we can do.
Or, I mean, Reading We've Dad with the tomato hat's also pretty funny.
What if we have him as a tie? This is the one tie we allow, and it's just objectively like bad choices. Why is that what I want to do?
Radio Rebel's stepdad who puts her on the radio.
Yeah,
Or the mom who's just obsessed with her going to prom.
there's so many just like non-parents in these.
Yeah.
The parental relationships are not shown
I mean,
perfectly.
the Let It Shine mom is just objectively a good
The
one.
Wendy Wu parents,
They were okay.
they're like, we got to learn about our heritage.
Yeah. Like, oh, I remember my roots.
We could just do Let It Shine, Mom.
She's
She's a
objectively a
badass.
good mom, yeah. Okay. We settled on Let It Shine mom because she's a good person who stands up to her husband. Maybe she should divorce him, but it's okay.
All right, most iconic popular girls.
Okay, these
These
are the
are
girls that really want to win
the
prom
crown.
queen. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
all they care
Will
about.
we remember any of their names?
No, we're just
Probably
gonna
not.
put
Well,
them in order.
actually, I do think Sharpay just deserves a spot on this
She
list
does.
because, like, she's the queen bee.
Duh. And then it's like Radio Rebel.
I think Radio Rebel's the one where it's most insane, and you could honestly give it to the principal too. You know who I think is actually a quite good one in this dichotomy?
Hmm.
The frenemies girl,
Which one?
the one that tries to break up the dog and,
Oh,
and Simon.
she is awesome. She is
She's insane.
she is Gaslight Gatekeep Girl Boss.
Yes. Maybe that should have been the name of this category.
Girl from Frenemies.
She's wild. You got
I guess I
Nevaeh
should
from
put
How to Build a Better
Rebel
Boy.
on. Yeah, there's Nevaeh. I'm thinking of a couple. Like there's the
You can go Geek Charming Girl.
yeah, I was thinking like the main character of Geek Charming.
You Princess Protection Program
Yeah,
villain.
she also
She's
cares about
insane.
winning the crown. Are there any other like school dance
Certainly.
movies?
Oh, Wendy Wu Homecoming Warrior villain.
Oh my gosh, she also well, she made cupcakes,
She
remember?
made cupcakes.
Wendy Wu herself wanted to win Homecoming Queen.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot. It's wild how many times they've dipped into that plot.
Yeah. We only got one spot left.
Because yeah, we can't change any of these for sure. It's etched in
They're
stone.
locked in. Yeah, we already carved their faces.
Oh, you know what?
Hmm.
Do we just do Tess from Camp Rock?
Yeah, we have to, actually. You're right.
She is such her. In the second fucking movie, it's even worse.
Oh my gosh. Okay, do you want to make any changes? I think I heard
No,
from the carvers that there's time.
no, I think it's
I
locked
can't
in.
believe blonde girl from Frenemies made it. She is
She is
awesome, though.
iconic. She's the best part of that movie.
She's
The
so
movie
good.
was good for 30 minutes, maybe good as stretching it, when it was a dog versus a boy, and then
Mhm.
the other plots suck.
Yeah. Right, moving on to craziest plots. I already have a
Stepsister from Planet Weird
okay, you're right, that has to be on there.
and Can of Worms
I was thinking that.
and Pixel Perfect. I
You're right, we haven't talked about Pixel Perfect yet, but yeah.
like I feel like those are the three craziest.
Yeah. I was also thinking Genius.
Genius is pretty
Genius is
wild.
pretty wild.
It's Genius is almost grounded though. Almost, but like How to Build a Better Boy is roughly the same craziness.
I feel like that's basically Pixel Perfect, though.
Yes, I would agree. I think Genius is a better pick, but I'm more saying like as a consideration. The whole Descendants franchise is pretty wild to begin
It's
with.
kind of well, but I'm not gonna put that.
Teen Beach Movie is just a normal concept.
Yeah.
I don't want to give it to like Phineas and Ferb the movie because that's established on a existing franchise.
Rebel's kind of stupid, but not wild enough.
Smart House is a bit grounded,
Yeah.
but it is just Black Mirror.
Yeah.
For a real life story, The Color of Friendship's kind of insane.
I feel like I want to go Genius.
I'm cool with Genius.
Genius is pretty crazy. These are the craziest plots. And finally, best non-human characters. I don't know how many you actually had in mind for this. Oh, Barnabas from Can of Worms.
That's Mars from Can of Worms. We got
Barn.
Albert Feinstein from Minutemen. Could have put that in the craziest. Well, it's mostly just a normal time
That's the
travel.
thing is that it's just time travel. It's not that crazy.
Yeah.
Pete is kind of crazy.
Hatching Pete is kind of like honestly, I would have done Hatching Pete on there. That is a crazy plot.
Genius is also crazy
Um,
because they like fly at the end of Genius.
yeah. Trying to think what other. There's the horse from Ready to Run.
Yeah, there's the horse from Ready to Run. There's the dog from Life is Rough. I go.
Yeah, I feel like he deserves a spot on this list more so than Barnabas, even. You know,
Hey, don't hate
Barnabas
on
is great.
Barnabas.
I'm not hating
I
on
love
Barnabas.
him.
There's the talking dog in the Descendants
That's
franchise, but I
true.
don't care about him in the
No, I don't.
slightest.
Doug. Is that his name?
I don't
I
remember.
think it is. What about when Maleficent turns into a lizard?
I don't think we can count that. I don't think we can.
There's the horse and the chameleon from Tangled. Rufus from Kim Possible.
Hmm hmm Both the live action and
There's like that
animated.
fucked up little peanut guy from Proud Family movie. There's the
There,
parrot.
100%. Locking this one in. The Smart House.
Does that count?
Non-human.
Well, you could also say Loretta Modern.
Loretta Modern feels more
More human.
like Smart House is so like I know they're both explicitly machines, but Loretta Modern is treated like a character, and it's like the plot twist of the third act of Smart House is Pat becoming a character.
Yeah. I just wasn't even thinking about like robots. That's crazy. All right, we have one more spot.
The dolphins from A Ring of
Oh,
Life.
the hell
That's
yeah.
how can you explain why they gave up their
Basil,
hands?
Basil, Basil. Why'd you give up your hand?
Why do you give up your hands? See, this is a good category. You were doubting me.
The dolphin that had live birth.
Pretty insane. That's one of the most wild
The
moments.
dog from Frenemies. He's pretty iconic. We already have a dog. We have two dogs, but
Yeah.
one's an alien.
Yeah. That's the thing. We're locked out on dogs.
There's also the dog from You Lucky Dog.
Yeah, we don't care about that dog.
No.
What a crazy list if we end up with the dolphins from A Ring of Life.
Do mermaids count?
I was wondering if we just count 13th year. Because mermaids aren't really human, you know?
Yeah. There's Perry the Platypus.
Yeah, he
We
has
should
a
maybe
very
put Perry.
significant role within there. I
Yeah.
was considering
Maybe
Perry.
we should just put Perry the Platypus.
Perry's pretty great.
I feel like we should put Perry the Platypus. Um.
Ooh.
Okay.
Oh, we could have done the boy from How to Build a Better Boy.
We already did the smart house.
Yeah, yeah. No, we got a robot quota, and I think we picked the right robot. All right,
Yeah.
those are our
Cool.
Mount Rushmores. Let us
Yeah.
know your Mount Rushmores.
Yeah. That was fun.
Yeah. All
Cool.
right.
Thank you guys for tuning in for this mini-sode. Next week we will be releasing our episode on Descendants. We have a couple guests coming for that too, so that's exciting. Finally, we're covering Descendants. I feel like it's like the last big franchise we haven't even started yet. So
It's good to get on to it.
yeah, yeah. So we'll see you guys next time.
Take care.
Bye.
Scenes from our next episode.
Did we do that?
Oh man, those last 10 decoms that we watched.
Yeah, we've made this exact same joke before. Wow, Descendants was great. And so was Hatching Pete. I'm just throwing that back out there.
Man, that fanfic was sure steaming.
Oh, hey guys, we didn't cover Zombies 4, but we watched it.
And we thought it was
Insert opinion. Wow, can't wait to do a next activity. Also, cool.
salutations.